Robert, or at least it's morning where I am. So where are you calling in from?
I'm in Eastern Europe at the moment, so I spend most of my time in Europe. But yeah, it's morning here as well.
Right, judging from the accent, you're perhaps from down under. Is that correct? Or
Yeah, originally from Australia, and I've lived in a dozen different countries, so I travel around quite a lot.
nice, leading the virtual, the digital nomad life. That's awesome. Right, so Robert, you're the founder of Mynth, and you're here with an exciting announcement. But I guess before we get to the announcement, let's hear a little bit about yourself and about the project. So first of all, how did you get into blockchain, first of all, and also Cardano, and what was your interest? What was the story?
Yeah, sure. So I've been involved with the tech industry for quite some time now, and I've been working predominantly with startups and small scale companies. And over the years, I've founded a few different companies, specifically in data science. And then I got into crypto around 2013. I started buying some Bitcoin and got interested in the mission and philosophy. And then when Ethereum came with crypto's kitties craze, that's when it really clicked for me that this could be something big. Everyone was just buying those little cats at the time, but it kind of clicked in my mind that these NFTs can represent something real and tangible. And so that got me interested in stable coins. And then we fast forward into a few years ago when I got heavily involved in Cardano. I was just looking at security and extensions of Bitcoin, and Cardano kind of fits that very well. So I started looking into different projects that were building on top of Cardano, and I found the synthetics protocol, and I joined that team and kind of built out a stablecoin and got that all working. And then after like the initial boom of DeFi on Cardano, I saw the problems of like lack of interoperability. So like once you're in Cardano, you can't really do anything else. You're kind of stuck, and Cardano has always lived as this very isolated network from the other networks. And so that's what got me interested in trying to solve that problem. So that led me to building Mynth, which is a cross-chain swap platform that allows users to take any token and swap it for any other token on any network. And so that's kind of the story that led us here.
Let's expand a little bit on this. So Project Mynth, it's a platform, and so exactly what is the mission, and then after the mission, which you already kind of indicated, what are the features? How does it work in great lines? I mean, I'm not pretending to be a technical analyst, but for somebody like me, just give us like a general idea of what it is that you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, well, let's start with the problem. So the problem is that we are in this fragmented world where you can kind of think we have this fragmentation even in the non-blockchain world. So say you're in UK and if I'm in Germany and we wanted to transact together, we're living in two different countries with different currencies, two different banking systems, and so there have been some developments to try and like facilitate those cross-border transactions. And so that's what is the problem, is like people want to transact with each other, they want to send money to each other, but there are some restrictions. Like even though like the Europe is well connected, it becomes a bit more difficult when you try and transact with South America, with North America, with Asia. And crypto was supposed to solve that for us. But what actually happened is we just recreated these problems in a more technical form. So now we have like 20 different blockchains and they're all incompatible with each other. And there's like thousands of tokens that people are using on a daily basis. And even when we talk about stablecoins, everyone has their own favorite stablecoin. The two popular ones being USDC and USDT. But say if you're a merchant and you want to accept payments in USDT, but I'm a user and I only use USDC because I trust that more, well, then there's a problem, right? It's like, I'm going to swap it. So, okay, I have to sign up for Binance. I have to send my funds there, and then I have to swap it, and then I have to come out and I send it back. And so that's really the problem that we're addressing, is that core lack of interoperability. And the solution that we have is to allow any token on any network. So what that actually means is that you as a merchant or an individual have a preference for what you want to receive, and me as an individual customer has a preference of what I want to send. And that shouldn't really matter. So Mynth will sit in the middle without any trust assumptions, and then facilitate that transfer so that I send in the token that I want, you receive in the token that you want, and no longer are the networks incompatible. And so the reason that I was kind of building this on Cardano is because I see Cardano as the security hub in the blockchain ecosystem. It's one of the most secure blockchains. And I would prefer to have my life savings on Cardano, but then if I want to go and use something that's a little bit newer, maybe I want to participate in the meme coin culture, and that might be on the Tron network or on Solana, for example. And I don't want to move all my life savings there, but I might want to move a little bit of play money. So now I have access to do that, and say if I make some money, then I can transfer my savings back into the safety of Cardano. So that's really what we have built here, is that you can now travel freely between the networks without any restrictions.
So let's just dive into a couple of the technical parts of what you are building. I read interestingly about chameleons and lizards. So you have like a whole zoo that you are letting loose on your platform. So just to give us like a very general sense of how that works, and also with your NFTs, right? Which I think is the chameleon side of it. So.
Yeah, we launched our NFTs in December of last year. So yeah, a year ago now. And so these provide extra benefits to some staking rewards and utility within the protocol. And so these are our chameleons, right? And by owning one of these, there's two types. There's a rare and there's a common. And the rare gives you some extra staking rewards, whereas a common just gives you some regular staking rewards. And then we get into the concept of the lizards. And so the way that we decentralize the cross-chain swaps is we have this network of validators that are sitting on top of Cardano. So Cardano is the consensus layer that's offering the security, but then we have to extend Cardano in order to validate fact statements. And those fact statements they can be anything, which allows us to have compatibility with any network. But you can think of a fact statements such as like, did this transaction occur on blockchain X? So no, did the transaction go to your address on Solana? And so that's the fact statement. And then that needs to get transferred and validated onto Cardano so that it can be processed on chain. And so that's what the lizards are doing. So the lizards is this network that is adding fact statements onto Cardano. And in order to operate a lizard, you need a rare chameleon NFT. So if you have one of these NFTs, then you can upgrade it and to become one of the lizards. And so these lizards are really powering the Mynth protocol. So that's how we have integrated our chameleon NFTs, in addition to the token, which is also the utility or token of the Mynth protocol, and that also has to be staked in addition to the NFT. So you can kind of think of the chameleons as like a license that you need to operate a lizard, and then you also need the token because the token is required to actually operate the protocol.
Right, and as far as the chameleon NFTs are concerned, how many are there? I mean, are those accessible to everybody? Is there like a limited amount of them, or how does that work? What is the tokenomics behind it?
Yeah, so
Or
there are
the NFT-omics?
Yeah, there are 2,000 minted that have they're only circulating supply. So we did the mints last year, so there's 2,000 total, and then there are 400 rare, and so they represents like the current max limit of how many lizards can be operated. So you can have 1,600 commons. A lot of people will have those, and then the rare ones is only 400 of those.
Mm-hmm. How long have you guys already been building the platform Mynth?
We're around 2 years in at this stage, or just shy of 2 years in a couple of months. So we've been building out this for quite some time now, really just laying down the foundation. So we launched the actual core protocol, I believe, in April of 2023, and then at that stage, we were just doing very basic cross-chain swaps between Cardano stablecoin and then other chain coins. And since then, we've really built out the foundation. So we're aiming for 25 integrations in 2025. And the reason we're able to do that now is like we've already set down that core foundation. There's been a lot of work. There might not be so much that like is visible to like a lot of non-technical people, but like that's because we've just been putting down that foundation, so that 2025 is really the year that we go hard and fast.
Because it's really like a super ambitious project, right? Because it's a very big problem. So I guess to solve a big problem also takes a lot of time. So obviously you have a roadmap. I guess would be useful to explain the stages of the roadmap, which will then also get us to I guess to your exciting announcements, which is part of the current stage of the roadmap, right? So let's look back at what you've done so far, where you are now, and make your announcements if you like, and then we'll look at what's still left in the future.
Yeah, so to kind of fast, like go back around 2 years. So like the very first thing that we did was just like validating the problem statement of like, do people need this ability to go between Cardano and other blockchains? And so that was the first thing that we were building. And then since then we've kind of expanded. So we did Tron initially. We did Cardano to Tron because Tron had the biggest users of USDT stablecoin. And then a lot of people want USDC, so we then moved to Polygon and Arbitrum. Right now we have 9 blockchains integrated. So we have Solana, we have Arbitrum, Polygon, Tron, Ethereum. It's hard to kind of list them all off the top of my head, but we have 9 at the moment. So that's where we are at the moment. And to kind of get there was just laying down that foundation of the decentralized peer-to-peer, kind of what you can consider an auction system. So where we have liquidity pools that are operated by others, and then people can facilitate those. And so when a user wants to do a swap, the token gets locked into a smart contract, and then the swap gets facilitated, and then there's a fact statement that is generated on the network. And then once that is validated, then the smart contract can unlock, and then the swap is completed, and then the third party who facilitated the swap is able to extract those original funds. And so that leads us to where we are here today, which is in January of 2025, so just a little over a month now, we are doing our IDO. So we did launch our token almost 2 years ago, but that was just via airdrop. And so we launched the token because the token was a core element of the protocol. You needed the token in order to actually do the cross-chain swaps. Since then, we've introduced a concept that we call Babel fees, where still the token is being used behind the scenes, but you don't actually need to use the Mynth token. The Mynth token is just being burned along the way. And so now, to give people more access to the token, we are doing a multi-chain IDO. So we're launching a sale on 9 different blockchains, of course, Cardano being one of them. And we partnered with Axo for the Cardano site. And so that is going live on the 21st of January. So that's a very exciting event for us, because that's going to be the first opportunity for people to kind of get major exposure to the Mynth protocol.
Awesome. So I don't realize IDO, what does that stand for?
Yeah, so it's an initial DEX offering. So what that means is that it's going to be the first opportunity for you to actually buy it in significant quantities from the DEX. And so the token is available right now, but it was being available to kind of the insiders who were building the protocol, and then the very initial core community who was airdropped. And so right now it's kind of scarce. It's very difficult to get because you've got to convince those early supporters to sell it to you. And I think a lot of them don't want to sell it to you. And so the IDO is just that first way for you to actually have the opportunity to buy the token and own it for yourself.
Right. Where and how can people get access to your IDO?
Yeah, so this depends on like what blockchain that you are wanting to use. So we are doing it on 9 different blockchains in order to really facilitate and showcase like the power of Mynth. On the Cardano side, we are using AXO. So that is a popular DEX on Cardano. And so you'll just be able to go to the AXO app and you'll be on the Launchpad section of the website, and we'll be doing some links. We'll pin some links on our X so you can see where all the places are to buy it. And it'll just be a simple matter of connecting your Cardano wallet and then swapping some ADA for the token beginning on January 21st.
Awesome. Super exciting. All right. So, of course, that's going to go really well because I can imagine that everybody wants to be part of this for sure. Then after the IDO has been completed, what is left on the roadmap?
So what's left is expanding to the next 20 blockchains, so that we reach 25 blockchains in 2025, and then also further decentralizing the core of the network. And so right now the team are the core lizard operators, and so in 2026 is when we plan to really open that up. Probably next year we'll start a closed beta of the lizards, and so we'll invite some small group of people to kind of beta test it and test out the system a bit more. And then 2026 is when we will kind of open things up to everyone, because hopefully then the team won't be the ones that are running the network. It will be run by the community. So yeah, the next couple of years is just really going to be focused on adding more blockchain supports so that you can go from any blockchain to any blockchain, and then decentralizing by allowing the entire community to participate in the network.
It's amazing. I guess by the time you guys go live, then you're going to be very busy because you're going to have to communicate this to all the blockchain communities that you are working with. So you'll be busy, my friend. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Robert, I can only wish you all the best. I mean, it's really a high time that projects like this came to bear to sort of bring everybody back together, you know, in what's supposed to be one blockchain family. To round off the interview, would you like to do like a shout out to the community?
Yeah, I'm really grateful and appreciative of like everyone who has supported us up until today. We wouldn't be here without like the security and decentralization of Cardano, and the Cardano community especially has helped a lot in just getting us to where we need to be. And I'm looking forward to offering this to Cardano and beyond to kind of bring Cardano and the rest of the blockchain ecosystems all together so that we can live in unity.
Amazing. I definitely wish you all the best. Already take the opportunity of wishing you and everybody else Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year with lots of blockchain enterprise and success and imaginative projects like yours. And see you soon for the next update.
Thank you.